Ninja One understands that IT teams today are stretched thin, trying to manage too many disconnected tools. So they built a platform that brings them all together. Ninja One unifies endpoint management, autonomous patching, backup, and remote access into a single intelligent platform. That means fewer tools, lower costs, higher efficiency, and a team that has the bandwidth and confidence to stay ahead. Unify IT to simplify work with Ninja One. Learn more at ninjaone.com.
At Planet Fitness, we've got everything you need to get stronger with best-in-class equipment and free fitness training, so you can give everything you've got. Join today starting at just $15 a month. Planet Fitness, we're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, your new foundation. Use PDF spaces to generate a presentation. Grab your docs, your permits, your moves. AI levels up your pitch, gets it in a groove. Choose a template with your timeless cool. Come on now, let's flex those tools. Draft, design, deliver, make it sing. AI builds the deck so you can build that thing. Do that, do that, do that with Acrobat.
Learn more at adobe.com/do-that-with-acrobat.
Have you ever wondered why people have seemingly stopped going to the theaters? Is it because things are too expensive? Is it because of the quality of TVs people have at home nowadays? Or is it because you occasionally run the risk of people jumping out of their seats and losing their ish because some zombie decides to go chickenback riding? I've never been more in favor of seatbelts and muzzles. Grab a pickaxe as we try to craft reasons why a Minecraft movie is not that bad. Welcome, one and all to It's Not That Bad, the podcast that looks for A grades in B movies. Hello to all of our listeners in Mundelein, Illinois, and around the world. How the heck are you guys doing? All right. We are 1 week away from our Grading on a Curve special of movies nominated for Worst Film of the Year at the Razzies, movies that were released in 2025 and did their best to underwhelm us. And surprisingly, a Minecraft movie wasn't in the mix. I have to say it. I'm shocked. No, I'm not just shocked. I am dumbfounded. But here to help me make sense of the world, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I actually saw this movie in theaters when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, I was in a very civilized theater where, when Chicken Jockey was announced. Luckily, there was no popcorn thrown. I didn't have any pretzel bites in my hair or, No
one was harmed by food in the making of that movie experience for you.
Yeah, no Dippin' Dots were thrown in my eyes. So that was nice.
So this is a bit of a callback. So if you, dear listeners, remember, way back at the very beginning of 2025, we did our Keep Watch Pass episode on looking ahead at movies that were going to be released in 2025. And as my pass pick for that episode, I picked a Minecraft movie because I had zero desire to watch it. And I had suppressed that urge to watch that film until it hit the calendar for this show.
Okay, suppress the urge or punked out of taking our boys, because they were kind of like just too old. They just kind of missed the mark. They had, gone through their Minecraft era, if you will, and we're just coming out the other end with, I guess, more advanced video gaming. And so they were kind of over the Minecraft thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely dodged a bullet not having to see this in the theater. But here we are. And
I fake sick well.
I am so curious to hear your thoughts on this movie.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that in a little bit. But before we do, it is time to take a Minecraft movie and trailerize it.
Imagine the calm tranquility of a game with a peaceful soundtrack. No guns, no mad chases, no intense pressure cooker situations. Just you in an open world and a canvas full of possibilities. Go at your own pace. Build whatever your imagination can conceive. And then some guy runs in, starts screaming at the top of their lungs and harshes your mellow. Enter Steve, the volume equivalent embodiment of every YouTube channel you wish you could delete out of existence. He's going to help 4 people find their way back to the real world, including Henry, a kid with a creative mind who you know has the ability of building something capable of taking out a small town. His sister Natalie, who just wants to leave her potato chip marketing job and bash the crap out of every annoying thing around her. To which we say, same girl, same. Dawn, the most empathetic real estate agent ever, and Garrett, the poster boy for what happens when your stylist hates you. Together, they'll craft, crash, and conjure their way through a film that should have listened to Jeff Goldblum. Just because you can, doesn't mean you should. The blockheads are taking over in a Minecraft movie. Rated PG for the Pickaxe Gang.
Oh, I fought laughter off with a diamond sword on that one.
You needed some diamond armor to protect yourself from the jokes that were dropping during that. But let's get into who's in this movie. The movie stars Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Emma Myers, Sebastian Hansen, Danielle Brooks, Jennifer Coolidge, and Rachel House. The movie was directed by Jared Hess, who had previously directed Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre.
Well, that makes sense now.
Right?
Everything makes sense.
But here's the thing. This film was almost directed by Sean Levy. He of Free Guy and Stranger Things directorial fame, but left after disagreements with the developers. And then Rob Mack was hired. And then he dropped out due to creative differences. So Jared Hess is here to carry on the legacy. In the almost starring category, Matt Berry was supposed to be Steve, but then the SAG-AFTRA strike happened, his schedule got all messed up, and Matt Berry then just ended up voicing the townsfolk guy that ended up in the real world and on a date with Jennifer Coolidge. Also, Steve Carell was supposed to voice an unknown character, but we don't know who that was supposed to be. This film had a budget of $150 million. Domestically, it made $424 million. And worldwide, $961 million. Just shy of $1 billion. Let me put this into perspective, okay? This is the second highest grossing movie based on a video game of all time, surpassed only by the Super Mario Brothers movie from 2023. It is the highest grossing opening weekend for a movie based on a video game. And in all of Warner Brothers history, it is the third highest opening weekend for a WB film. The top two, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. One of those films is good. And yet surprisingly still only spent 2 weeks at number 1, because 2 weeks after it was released, it was knocked out by Sinners. But when it debuted at number 1 on the April 4th, 2025 weekend. There were two other debuts that week. The Chosen, Last Supper Part 2 debuted at number 3 with 6.9 million, and Hell of a Summer debuted at number 8 with only $1.7 million. There are some accolades for this film. Now, we need to put a big old asterisk on some of these here, because some of these awards have not been handed out yet. We are recording this mid-February. which means the Saturn Awards have not been handed out yet. Those are going to be handed out March 8th. But at the 2026 Saturn Awards, it's nominated for Best Cinematic Adaptation. So, Carrie, I'm going to put this in your purview here, okay? These are the nominees for Best Cinematic Adaptation at the Saturn Awards. Minecraft movie, Black Phone 2, Captain America Brave New World, The Fantastic Four, First Steps, Superman, and Thunderbolts.
Ooh.
What's going to win in your opinion?
It won't be Minecraft.
No, I don't think so.
No, that is a solid lineup. I would, if I had to predict, is that what you're looking for?
I
a
am.
prediction?
I am.
I'm going to go, as much as I want to say Thunderbolts, I'm going to go with the Fantastic Four.
Not Superman.
Ooh.
Right?
No, I'm going with Fantastic Four.
All right.
Staying with my choice.
All right. Time to put your prediction cap on once again, because the 2026 Annie Awards has this nominated for Best Character Animation in a Live Action category. Here are the nominees: Minecraft Movie, How to Train Your Dragon, Prehistoric Planet, Superman, and Captain America Brave New World. Best Character Animation with Live Action.
Superman falls under animation action?
There is a lot of CGI in that film. I mean, Crypto is basically all CGI.
Okay, but it's not what I think of when I think animation exactly.
Okay, but this is it's not fully animation. It's live action mixed in with CGI animation.
Okay, fair.
I think this film's got a decent chance of that one.
I could see that. It was well done. I definitely liked I did. I liked the Minecraft world versus the real world. Like it felt like we were in the video game.
Yeah. Now, there were some awards that have already been handed out. At the 2025 Kids' Choice Awards, Emma Myers was nominated for Fave Movie Actress, but lost to Ariana Grande for Wicked. Jack Black won for Fave Movie Actor, beating Jason Momoa in that same category. The movie was nominated for Fave Movie, but lost to Wicked. I Feel Alive was nominated for Fave Song from a Movie, but lost to Defying Gravity from Wicked. But Emma Myers won Fave Butt Kicker, beating, among others, Jack Black in that category. And at the 2025 Game Awards and the 2025 Golden Joystick Awards, the movie was nominated for Best Game Adaptation. At the Golden Joystick Awards, it lost to Season 2 of Arcane. And at the 2025 Game Awards, it lost to Season 2 of The Last of Us. But the reason why we are here, because A, this film got no Razzie nominations this year, but the critics had their say. Over Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a tomatometer of 48% and a popcorn meter of 84%. They literally mirrored the number. At IMDb, sits at 5.6 stars out of 10 for a 56% score. Metacritic, a Metascore of 45. Letterboxd, right down the middle, 2.5 stars out of 5 for a 50% score. And at the movie database, a 63% score, giving this film the aggravated aggregate of 57.6%. So, Carrie, college fail. Is that fair for a Minecraft movie?
I think it's fair. I mean, was it great? No.
No.
But was it awful? An absolute stinker? Also no. So I think to right down the middle and still put it as you say, a college fail, right? I mean, it's over 50%, which I think is fair. Is it worth 60? Maybe not.
I want to draw a parallel here. If you remember, I'm going to drag you back a couple of years here. One of our very first Grading on a Curve episodes was movies based on a video game. And one of those films was Warcraft. That has a tomatometer of 29%. I like that better than this.
Okay, but my question to you, did you play Warcraft?
No, not in the slightest.
Okay. See, I don't know, maybe I'm coming at this with a sense of nostalgia because I remember playing this game with the boys. Like,
yes.
It's a really fun concept of world building and creativity and imagination. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I love that it brought like the animals kind of not to life because they're still animated, but the sheep and the pigs and the I don't know, almost like Robloxian square guys,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The villagers.
Yes.
Sorry, the villagers. They brought it to life, and I think they did a well enough job. I mean, again, it wasn't a great movie, but it really wasn't. It wasn't that bad. And I think the best part about this movie is that for the children who play the game, it was pretty well on point.
Oh, we're going to put a pin in that very sentence right there.
Okay.
We're going to come back to that a little bit later.
Go further with the American Express Business Gold Card. Earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels when you book through AmexTravel.com. Whether your destination is a business conference or a client meeting, your purchases will help you earn more points for future trips. Experience more on your travels with Amex Business Gold. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
But we're going to start with Jack Black as Steve. Your thoughts on him?
Yes, I'm Steve. I liked him in this. I mean, he was given the ability to just play. And boy, did he bring it.
Are you sure you watched the same movie as I did?
Yeah. I like Jack Black. I like when, again, he's given the space to just play and have fun and do what he does best. I mean, come on, the Lava Chicken song, like that was classic Jack Black right there.
I mean, okay. Yes, it is classic Jack Black. And I fully agree with that. The problem is Jack Black with this film has entered Christopher Walken territory.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Okay, let's go back 2 years prior to the Super Mario Brothers movie, where, of course, Jack Black voiced Bowser. And we got the Peaches, 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 like the Peaches song, right? And yeah, it was goofy and quirky and fun and caught you off guard. And it's almost like Minecraft came in and said, yeah, we're going to need all of the Jack Black and we're just going to let him do his thing. Jack Black literally felt like a freaking YouTuber narrating his way through the tutorial levels of a Minecraft game.
That's harsh, bro.
He was an overmodulated headphone mic away from basically being a YouTuber.
Okay.
And the problem is, when you take a look at the basic premise of what this movie is, he's not the heart of the film.
Okay, no, but he's also catering to his audience, and his audience are, and I don't want to profile, but the younger generation who are big fans and buying into their YouTube celebrity friends that, you know, like the unspeakable. And I mean, the boys are a bit older, but
you know what though?
The loud.
I'm going to argue that one too.
Okay.
Hear me out here. Because we have been subjected to our fair share of YouTube channels thanks to our boys.
Yes.
Right. And yeah, I you mentioned Unspeakable.
I did, but I'm not poo-pooing on him. I'm just using him as an example.
Okay.
Him and his crew.
They are the reason why the mute button exists on the remote control. And I get that sometimes they do interesting Minecraft themed things in their warehouse, and I get that. And some of it's cute, but oh my God, they get annoying after a while. But the majority of Minecraft streamers aren't necessarily loud and obnoxious. My experience of this game is a much more relaxed vibe, right? You pop it in peaceful mode, the music kind of chills you out, and you just take a world and create whatever you want, which is great. And some people have made some absolutely mind-boggling, fantastic things in Minecraft. Like some of the creations that I've seen videos of and whatnot, they're amazing. But the problem is, Jack Black's version of Steve in this is just loud and obnoxious and in your face, and is very much a me kind of attention getter. To me, the center of the story, the heart of the story, are the siblings, Henry and Natalie, and trying to get them back home. Steve is sucking all the oxygen out of the Minecraft world from that story. I would love to know the story that Sean Levy pitched. Because to me, Sean Levy is that rare director that no matter what movie he's given, he's been able to find heart in the story. Even The Internship, with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson interning at Google, in the hands of any other director, that is goofball comedy. In the hands of Sean Levy, that film had a surprising amount of heart. This film needed that surprising amount of heart, which meant, to me, pulling the focus away from Jack Black. But instead, we got loud, obnoxious, playing to the camera, playing to the audience, and not all of it working Jack Black. Like, am I being too harsh here?
Kinda. Yeah, a little bit. But you're absolutely welcome to your opinion. I just thought we're here to say nice things about Jack Black. What?
No. We're here to say nice things about the movie.
I know, but give me something nice about Steve.
He sings nicely.
I liked him.
But even then, like the Lava Chicken song, it's cute, right? But did we need all the other songs in there?
Kinda, yeah.
The song about his dog? No, we didn't need the song about his dog. The bad wannabe 80s hair band by people way too old to be in an 80s hair band song at the end. And we didn't need that song.
Oh, come on. That was fun. That was fun. That was when they just get to play. I mean, Jack Black, obviously we know, is very musical. I mean, Jason Momoa, has
is a fan of music.
Absolute rocker vibe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course they had to do a hair metal, like air guitar. I don't know. Like they had to do the 80s band, like rock star scene. It had to happen. You say it wasn't a part of the movie, but it definitely added a bit of fun. Just to be able to see the actors enjoying what they're doing. If they're having fun, then the audience is having fun. And
normally I agree with you on that, but in this case, let me ask you a question. If the Super Mario Brothers movie didn't have the Peaches song, or even if it did and it didn't go over as well as it did, do you think there would be as much singing in this?
Okay, I'm going to break the internet. I grew up with Super Mario, big fan,
mm-hmm.
love the game,
mm-hmm.
played it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the movie. I didn't. I think actually in comparison, I probably enjoyed the Minecraft movie more than the Super Mario Brothers movie to begin with. Just personal opinion. I didn't love the Minecraft movie. Don't get me wrong. But I also didn't hate it, and I would prefer it over Super Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the Super Mario Brothers movie also qualifies. Yes, we've already covered it. It's a 59% tomatometer, so it's literally walking that borderline mark on this.
Do you know what I didn't like about it?
What's that?
I didn't like the picture they painted of Peaches. I'm Team Peaches, and I think they kind of made her look wishy-washy and like her heart wasn't really with Mario.
Princess Peach.
Yep.
Voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
Badass ass-kicking Anya Taylor-Joy.
She was done dirty. Yep. I mean, it was played well.
Did we watch the same movie again? Did your Super Mario Brothers movie have Bob Hoskins and because I think we're talking about the wrong Super Mario Brothers movie, but yeah, I think we can agree that we are disagreeing on Jack Black in this one. Let's move on to Jason Momoa as Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Your thoughts?
I'm not a big Jason Momoa fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really dig him as a person, but I don't like his acting at all.
Really?
At all. Aquaman, nah. And even when he tried to do a more dramatic role in Sweet Girl, I was hopeful, and I still didn't enjoy him as an actor. It's just something in, I don't know, his presence or his performance that I just can't get behind. Like, I don't know. I am waiting for, there's a lot of talk that he's been learning how to play guitar and then he's going to do like a heavy metal movie. And I'm waiting for that.
It'd be interesting. I mean, he's going to be in the upcoming Supergirl film, finally playing Lobo, the character who should have been all along in the DC universe. He was not, this was not Aquaman. I'm sorry, he's not. I mean, I liked him in Game of Thrones. You know, I didn't mind him in Conan the Barbarian, but I'm with you for the most part in this film. But here's the thing. I like the idea of what his character is.
I agree with that. He wasn't taking himself too seriously.
Nope.
And he was just having fun. He was soaking it all in. I get that. But even at that, it wasn't enough.
See, I don't know if this is the direct correlation, but I'll tell you what it reminded me of, at least the character of Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Do you remember a documentary called The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters?
No.
Let me refresh your memory, okay? So in The King of Kong, the movie focused on this upcoming guy who had basically broken the record for highest score in Donkey Kong, the arcade game. And it focused also on Billy Mitchell. Now, Billy Mitchell was the guy who got the record when he was like a teenager. And after that, basically rode on his Donkey Kong fame and was making like barbecue sauce and had a chain of restaurants and walked around in American Thai. And like, he was the epitome of fame taken to the extreme. And Garrett, the Garbage Man Garrison, kind of reminds me a little bit of Billy Mitchell, at least the characterization of him in that documentary. But it's almost like, what would happen if Billy Mitchell and the Peacemaker were one person? That's kind of what it feels like.
I think he had more of a, I don't know, kind of a mix between like Dog the Bounty Hunter and like a bad wrestler.
Well, that's kind of why I'm thinking the Peacemaker, right? Because like, he has that like way too confident for his own abilities kind of attitude. Gets himself way beyond where he should be. But I mean, the idea of a character of a guy who, was a video game icon for a hot minute and then tried to parlay that into lifelong fame. It's a great, I liked the first half of this film for Jason Momoa, and then it got stupid, right? It became Jack and Jason's hair metal adventure. And again, that took away from it because, dear listeners, they're not the heart of the story. And I'm gonna put this out there. A Minecraft movie 2, the sequel, is set for release in 2027, and the only two actors listed are Jack Black and Jason Momoa. And to me, they're the worst parts of this film.
Tell me that Jennifer Coolidge is coming back with her villager friend.
I don't know. They're not the only two actors listed, and it's the same director, Jack Black and Jason Momoa. Like, I wasn't looking forward to this film to begin with. I am looking less forward to that film. Sebastian Hansen, who plays Henry, this is the kid who finds himself sort of being pseudo-mentored by Garrett, and then kind of helps him get out of the overworld. Your thoughts on him?
I think he was definitely vital to the story, right? Because he was the creator. He was the imaginative one.
Here's the thing. I love the idea of this character. I love the idea of Henry, right? Someone who is creative and has blueprints and wants to just wants to make things to make a better world, right? I can make a jetpack. Let's do that. I can do this. I love the idea of someone whose imagination knows no bounds. And then you put them into a world where their imagination can run absolutely rampant and they can create whatever it is they want. But yet the film doesn't focus on that. Henry is supposed to be the Minecrafter, the kid, right? The gamer that is interested in this movie. And yet you're spending way too much time on Captain Pink frilly jacket and the beard. Had you turned it around and really put the focus on Henry, I think you would have had a better movie. Maybe it doesn't make as much money, but I think Henry being the heart of the film should be the focus. Like, although, and I have to say this, tell me you weren't getting Stranger Things vibes from him.
I was actually, before we started recording, I checked back on the cast and crew just to make sure, because in my mind I was like, now, was that the same actor that played, like, was that Finn Wolfhead?
No.
I was totally getting Mike vibes from him.
I get that. But that's the thing. Henry is the perfect embodiment of someone who played Minecraft and found themselves in a world able to create anything their mind and heart desired.
And I think a lot of, and again, I say kids with finger quotations, a lot of gamers who played Minecraft can maybe really relate to that, where it's almost kind of like video games become a bit of an escape from, reality. Let's be honest, right? Kids can be cruel. So you go to school, maybe not the most popular kid in class.
You go to school, you survive school for the day, and then you come home and then you escape into this. This is what I really like about Minecraft. And this is what I was kind of hoping that they'd tap into. Because in my small little Minecrafting experience, either watching our kids or, dabbling in it myself, I found the game calm. I found it relaxing. I found it interesting. I found myself going, what can I build here? What can I, and I'll admit, I would put it on like peaceful mode. I didn't want to, be running away from the zombies every time night rolls around. Right. I wanted to sandbox is what I wanted to do. Right. I wanted to see how deep down into this world I could actually pickaxe my way down. I found that fascinating. I found the idea of making castles and, buildings and whatnot. And it was cool. And you could lose yourself in that. When the idea or the goal of a game is just to be creative, man, we need more of those kind of games.
Okay, but more to the point of the lovable, let's just, again, say, lovable loser, right? That was Jason Momoa's character. You had mentioned that he is riding on the coattails of a previous, fame, like a 5 minute of fame.
Yeah.
But, there's life after that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
but I've watched a King of Kong. Like I've watched that documentary and, maybe that's why I found myself connecting more to that character because it did remind me of Billy Mitchell a little bit.
But that's exactly it, that he was holding on to that moment where, he had that win in his life. And I think that really kind of, it gives a lot more heart and a lot more relevance to Jason Momoa's character.
And then you have Henry's sister, Natalie, played by Emma Myers. Your thoughts?
I liked her. I liked that there was kind of that tension. I mean, the kids were definitely of different personalities.
Here's the thing. Henry gets plenty of screen time. He is a central figure, even though he should be the central figure. Capital T, capital H, capital E, the central figure. But yet, here's Natalie, his sister, having to become his guardian, his legal guardian, because, of course, their mom has passed away. And she's in this, lackluster, doing it for the money kind of job of being, managing the socials for the local potato chip company and really kind of in over her head, basically having to transition from being big sis to actual parental figure. And then they get into this magical world kind of thing. But yet Natalie has her own story here as well. This film needed more Natalie and more Dawn, I find. And less Jack Black and less Jason Momoa.
I agree, but if you're going to make it a deep storytelling movie, you're going to push away like the fandom from the gamers.
But, and I'm going to argue this one here, the game itself is steeped in creation. And let's call this out right now. What is the end goal of Minecraft?
World building?
Okay.
And to survive the zombies and the Enderman attack and...
Okay. Let me phrase it a different way. How do you win Minecraft?
I don't know. I was never that good.
You can't.
It just kind of keeps going on, doesn't it?
There is no actual storyline to Minecraft. It's open world creation.
Okay, whew. I felt like this was a skill testing question that I did not know the answer.
Because there was no answer, right? Minecraft isn't that game. Minecraft is an open world creation sandbox. There's no story mode. I mean, I know there are some story mode mods or whatnot of Minecraft, but there's no story mode in the basic Minecraft game. At least to my understanding. And I'm sure there's probably going to be someone out there going, well, really, by all means, tell me what the story is. Sure as hell can't be this. Here we have an attempt at putting some heart in a movie about a game where there's no direct universal, this is the storyline. And I like the story that they built into here. Henry and Natalie, that pairing, that familial unit in unfamiliar territories, in an unfamiliar world, give me more of that. Jason Momoa and Jack Black should be guides along the way, not the Minecraft version of Statler and Waldorf. And then you get Danielle Brooks as Dawn, the most empathetic real estate agent. Your thoughts on her?
And she also kicked ass.
Well, yes, she does. Well, I mean, we're talking about the woman who plays Adebayo on Peacemaker. So, of course she kicks ass, and of course she's awesome. But again, I have questions about Dawn.
And her windsuit was on point.
Right.
Rocking the 80s. And you know what? I think that was probably my favorite part, that adults watching it can kind of get that blast from the past, because a lot of the things, the hair, Jason Momoa's mullet type hair, and the windsuit and the pink leather jacket, and everything was just perfectly on point. That
but the
brought
film
you back.
Isn't set in the 80s.
No, but the costuming was.
Because that just signifies that the people in that town never left the 80s. But I have questions about Dawn because she seems really tight with Natalie, right? Her kid, she actually, mentions like, what you're doing for Henry. It's really brave, right? And then when Henry goes missing, Natalie calls Dawn, the real estate agent who happens to run a petting zoo, and she comes running. And how are Natalie and Dawn friends? Are they tight? Or because Natalie makes it seem like it's just a business relationship, but she knows no one else in this town. Like, there's so much more about Dawn's character that I feel needs to be flushed out, because Dawn is an interesting character, played well by Danielle Brooks. I wanted more of her. I like the scenes where Natalie and Dawn are kind of lost in the overworld and they're kind of talking to each other, but it doesn't really focus much on character development.
Wouldn't it be a case of like, as a real estate agent, she wanted maybe to be tasked with selling the house and making a bunch of money?
Well, no, she sold the house to them when they moved to that town.
Yes.
After the mother died. But it's one of those things where like she seems to know quite a bit about Natalie. I wanted more explanation of who Dawn was and why because Dawn is clearly a sympathetic character.
You don't think there was more to it, though, is what I'm saying?
No, but I think there is more to it. I just want more explanation of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of saw it as like maybe, eventually turn the sale of the house and make more money. I don't see it at that, though. No,
not in the slightest. Like, and if that's the case, then that takes the character of Dawn and makes her really skeezy, and that's not a good thing.
And that's not the character.
That's
You're
not the character
right.
at all. Yeah.
And also, she's great with animals.
Yes.
Right? Which helped in the Minecraft world.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you have these things set up. Like more Henry, more Natalie, more Dawn, less Steve, and a little less Garrett.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Your planet is now marked for death.
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps is now streaming on Disney+.
We will protect you.
As a family.
Light him up, Johnny!
Marvel's first family is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is fantastic.
And critics say it's one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Oh!
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
What time is it, Ben? It's clobber time!
But then you also have Malgosha, as voiced by Rachel House. This is the big bad of the pig creature thing, whatever, in the Netherworld. Your thoughts on Malgosha?
I think definitely relevant, right? It was that kind of character that, you couldn't trust, and it was an ongoing joke,
yeah.
Right? That, yeah.
You're going to stab me with that knife. No, I'm not. I'm too weak to do it. And then she stabs it, tries to stab him anyways. But the best parts are in the trailer. I like the tenor that Rachel House gave to Malgosha. And I think the character of Malgosha, someone who wanted to be creative and just couldn't, and, was treated poorly by her father because she was trying to be creative and it didn't work, right? This is an interesting character. Perfect backstory for a villain in this world, but yet this should have been the character that also saw promise in Henry, but didn't because she was so laser focused on loudmouth Steve. The villain had the wrong centerpiece. Now, let's take a moment here and let's go back to the real world, because there's a story happening here where one of the villagers makes their way into the real world and gets hit by a car by a lonely woman, Marlene, as played by Jennifer Coolidge, who is always a gem. Jennifer Coolidge is comedic royalty. But what the does this storyline have to do with anything?
I think it's just funny, though. It is. It's funny that she falls in love with a Minecraft character, a creation of a video game, who makes his way into the real world, and she doesn't see his difference.
I agree that the scenes are cute. And that's mainly because Jennifer Coolidge is always fantastic, right? And the animation of the villager is great. Here's where I start tipping my hat. The animation crew on this film nailed it. This film looks fantastic. It's amazing. They nailed the world. They nailed the character design. Absolutely. Deserves the Annie Award in this case, I will admit. And I like the scenes, but the problem is this film is only 101 minutes. It's an hour 41. And already I'm complaining that we don't have enough screen time for Henry and Natalie and Dawn, who are supposed to be the heart of the film. And we have this D storyline of Marlene about to find her groove with a blockhead.
It had to be played by Jennifer Coolidge, though.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
There is no other actress that could make that as real as Jennifer Coolidge.
Stifler's mom has got it going on, let me tell you. But the thing is, you are taking away screen time from a story that needs further development. And no matter how good Jennifer Coolidge is, the movie, the heart of the movie, suffered because of it. Now, there's a post-credit scene and there's a mid-credit scene. The mid-credit scene furthers the Marlene storyline. And that scene's great as a mid-credit scene. And I'm glad they saved it for a mid-credit scene, rather than waste more time of the runtime. But then there's the end scene where Steve goes back to his old home. He knocks on the door and someone's opens it up. And it's Alex. Now, Alex is another one of the default skins from Minecraft. It was voiced by Kate McKinnon. It's a good little Easter egg, and maybe they're going to explore that more in a Minecraft movie too. Who knows? But, like, the only reason I know of Steve is because the boys have played the game, right? There are different default skins. Steve, this isn't the movie of Steve. Just happens to be the first default skin you get. Do we care about these characters?
Well, they're in the game. The movie is about the game, the world of Minecraft. So if the characters are introduced to us in the game and they're not in the movie, and if they hadn't had at least given reference to Alex, then yeah, I think that there might have been a bigger revolt. And I think that the audience score would be a lot lower.
I think the biggest thing is that when you think about, main movie characters, right? Or people or characters you're going to make a video game movie, right? I mean, Resident Evil was great, right? In that, I say great, but we know that every single Resident Evil movie actually qualifies for the podcast. But you had a main character to focus things around. And Mila Jovovich, bless her heart, was in every single Resident Evil film based on that character. They had that to work with. The Last of Us, right? You had Pedro Pascal and you had Bella Thorne, and they were fantastic. They really did a good job of conveying those characters that part of adapting a video game into a movie is making sure that the characters hit, even if it's an anime adaptation. Like Devil May Cry is out on Netflix now. Castlevania is really good. You focus on the character. But if the character is a default skin that you don't really care what their freaking name is because there's no dialogue in it except for what next? The Sims?
Or Fortnite?
The problem with Fortnite is you can create whatever skin you want. And then of course they license in all these other characters.
I think a Fortnite movie would be brilliant because they could. Yeah, they could absolutely bring in all these like random, almost like spots, like scenes for.
Do you know how much money that would cost to license those characters into a Fortnite film?
A lot.
Now, I mean, you take a look at Ready Player One, and you had all this massive Easter egg treasure trove of characters locked in there that you just basically spend days freeze framing scenes to count all the characters. And Fortnite could be that. But again, what's the story of Fortnite except for Battle Royale on an island?
But that's the thing, is that Minecraft isn't a violent property.
It doesn't have to be violent, though.
It's about creating, right? So in comparison to, the Fortnite world where, yeah, you're basically like going along and trying not to get into the storm and, kill or be killed, right?
But I mean, you can have a peaceful video game and then you can turn it into something. I'm sure you could probably do something at Stardust Valley or whatever, right? You can do something with some kind of, there's a reason why Battleship sucked, right? Battleship as a whole is just basically, you think my battleship. That's it. That's the game. Call out numbers, sink a ship. Sink them all, you win.
It's strategy, though. It's trying to pinpoint the exact location of your opponent.
Yeah. And at what point does the Michael Bayification of a Battleship game work? And I remember there was like an idea of doing a Monopoly game. Thank God they didn't. Because, really? Minecraft, the world, is, I think, an interesting world to venture into. I think had you focused more on Henry and Natalie and even Dawn, I think you would have had a more interesting adventure-based storyline rather than this kind of loud, obnoxious Jack Black performance. And yet still, nothing I say matters in this case. Because in 2025, a Minecraft movie made the 5th most amount of money at the box office. The number one film was Ninja 2 with $2.215 billion. Zootopia 2 is sitting at number 2 and it's still in theaters at the time we were recording this, $1.8 billion. Avatar, Fire and Ash, $1.45 billion. It's still in theaters. Lilo and Stitch, the live action film, somehow made $1 billion. Somehow. And then it was a Minecraft movie at number 5. Like, does this feel like $1 billion movie to you?
Okay, but what we need to address is like the 30 some odd % difference between the critic score and the audience.
Okay, we know that when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, it's a free-for-all, right? You can have people review bombing the crap out of a movie before it even hits the theaters. And I take a look at, and I don't want to get political here, but just know that I'm using this example in talking about Rotten Tomatoes and the failings of Rotten Tomatoes as a site and as an aggregator, which is why we now do the aggravated aggregate and give you the cross population of scores. The Melania documentary. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. Nothing political. I just really have no desire to learn more about Melania Trump. But at the time of us recording this episode, it has an 11% tomatometer, and the popcorn meter was like 99%. And I know on both ends of that, you've got people review bombing and bots spamming the likes out of it. Like, there's no way you are going to get a true judgment on this documentary because because the subject is so divisive. It could be a good documentary. Don't take a look at critic scores at all, and don't take a look at audience scores at all, because people are gaming the system for one side point or the other. I think in this case, I think some of that popcorn meter, because it's so high above everything else, is gamed a little bit by all the people who jumped up out of their chairs in the middle of the theater going, "Chicken jockey!" like idiots. Because they could, and because other people were doing it too. Like a freaking TikTok trend. And maybe that's kind of my hang up on this film. Is that had that not existed, okay, had the whole chicken jockey thing not existed, I think it still would have been a bad film, but the popcorn meter wouldn't have been as high as it was. It wouldn't have made as much. People probably went to see this film just so they could buy popcorn and throw it up in the air and annoy the crap out of people, because why not? Because other people are doing it too.
Which is ridiculous. Popcorn is expensive, yo.
I know. More money than brains. But that's not, it takes away from the movie going experience. I fully understand that there are going to be people who go to this film because they get a kick out of it, because they like Jack Black humor, because they get a kick out of Jason Momoa, or because they just love Minecraft. And to those people who love this film, for whatever reason you love this film, great. Awesome. Do that. But for those who are just showing up at a movie just to be obnoxious and loud and be filmed by their buddies and they put it up on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, hey, I did the thing. Don't do the thing. Just don't do the thing. All right, Gary. I know. I've been kind of going off on this movie a little bit.
Kind of. You've been a bit harsh. I'm not going to lie.
But here's where I'm just going to turn it around. I'm going to summarize the good things here. Okay? Take out Jack Black. Just take that character out back and put it out of its Minecraft misery.
But Steve.
I liked the idea of Garrett. I don't know if they used Billy Mitchell as a template, but I like the idea of him. The Henry and Natalie angle. I wish they developed this more. I wish the central focus was on the heart of the story. I wish the focus was on this kid who just wanted a world in which he could create. That's the thing. I look at Henry and I see a really creative, intelligent, ambitious star reacher. Gets put into a world where he can do the everything and create the everything. Had the movie focused on Henry a bit more, you know what? This could have been good. This could have been fantastic. This could have been one of the better video game movies because it looked great. The production was fantastic. It looked and felt like Minecraft. You're absolutely right on that. Should have focused on Henry. All right. Let's talk some more good things, though. Your MVP of a Minecraft movie.
Well, I'm a little afraid to say, but I'm a fan of Steve. I'm going to go with Jack Black. You know what? He was picture perfect, I think, for this movie. And I mean, granted, you know, I could not see any other actor playing this role to the same, just fun. He just sang literally in this role.
Yeah, this isn't a figurative. He's saying
he made the role of Steve sing.
He basically turned Minecraft into a musical is what he did. I think I'm going to surprise you though. Not that Jack Black's my MVP and Jason Momoa is not my MVP. And while I liked the character of Henry, Sebastian Hansen is not my MVP. Although I do tip my hat, I think he did a good job. No, my MVP is Danielle Brooks, who played Dawn, the real estate agent.
I'm not surprised.
I mean,
I'm not surprised.
Hey, she's a freaking fantastic actor. But the thing is, every time Dawn enters the scene, Dawn is almost like an anchor for Natalie. And I thought Emma Myers was fantastic too. I basically had Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers as my short list for MVP, with Danielle Brooks winning out. And I really wish there was more of those two, because the scenes when they're together They're great together. And Dawn makes Natalie a better character.
Do you know what I loved about her was her unspoken, like she didn't even have to deliver a line.
Mm-hmm.
Her facial expressions
spoke
volumes in a lot of the scenes. And she just made it so much funnier.
And Dawn is, and this is part of Danielle Brooks in the way she delivers her lines. Because, you know, I loved what she did in Peacemaker. I thought Adebayo was a fantastic character and, you know, the unsung star of that entire series. And stealing frickin' scenes from John Cena in that series. But the thing is, here, Dawn is such a gentle character. Dawn, to me, is the calm tranquility that you get out of a Minecraft soundtrack. And that's exactly the kind of character that should have been more used in the movie. See, I said nice things. There are good things about this film. It's just not Jack Black. I'm sorry. It's just not. Normally, I'm with you. Normally, I'm on Team Jack Black, just not this time. Carrie, thank you so much for this. And dear listeners, next week it is on Grading on a Curve, the worst of the worst, the nominees for the worst film of 2025. Everyone's back and everyone's ready to rock that ish. But until that time, you know the drill. If there is a movie out there that you think is unfairly maligned or is so bad that there is no way in the netherworld that we can find anything good to say about it, hit us up on social media at NotThatBadcast or go to our website at NotThatBadcast.com. And if you already know, There Can Only Be One is back, so be sure to check out our music show. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is It's Not That Bad, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care, chicken jockeys.